Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Success Talks Football. It's the weekend and you know what that means. We'll be getting the fixtures of the weekend games from the top 3 leagues. Yeah, no longer top 5 since the Bundesliga and the League One are already concluded. So guys, before we go into the fixtures for the Premier League, let's quickly touch on the battle for the top 5 spots. Now, as it stands now, Man City is 2 points ahead of Newcastle, Chelsea and Aston Villa and 3 points ahead of Nottingham Forest. But what does this mean? It means that none of them can lose their last match. None of them should lose their last match because the top 5 slot isn't solidified yet. I mean, the people that have gotten their position sealed is just Liverpool and then Arsenal. These other teams still have to win their last match to be sure of them qualifying into the Champions League for next season. Now, the Premier League fixtures. All their matches will be on the same day, which is on Sunday, May 25, and it is at 4 p.m. West African time. You know, this is how it is done when it is the last match of the season. I mean, it is match 38 of 38, and they are Bournemouth versus Leicester City, Fulham versus Manchester City, Wolves versus Brentford, Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea, Manchester United versus Aston Villa, Southampton versus Arsenal, Newcastle versus Everton, Liverpool versus Crystal Palace, Ipswich Town versus West Ham, and Tottenham versus Brighton. And remember that they are all playing at 4 p.m. West African time. So we need to look out for the teams that are to make the top 5 and see if they can beat their opponents or not, because that will be the decider. That match will be the decider of the top 5 for next season. I mean, for the qualification into the Champions League. In La Liga, the top 5 spot is sealed already. Not even the last match can do anything to change it. The teams going into next season's Champions League are Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Bilbao, and Villarreal. Where the battle is on the teams that will be relegated. I mean, on the last team to be relegated. The other 2 teams are already solidified. They are already relegated. Nothing can change that. So now the third team to join them is between Leganes and Espanyol. Espanyol is 2 points ahead of Leganes, so it means that Espanyol have to win their last one. They cannot even draw, because if they draw, they will be, and Leganes wins, they'll be on the same point with Leganes, and Leganes will be ahead of them with head-to-head. I mean, Leganes won their match against Espanyol and drew the second leg against Espanyol, so Leganes will be ahead of them. So it means that Espanyol have to win their last match. They cannot even do what? Draw, because I'm sure Leganes would not also want to lose or draw the last match. To La Liga fixtures. On Friday 23rd May, it is Real Betis versus Valencia at 8 p.m. On Saturday 24th May, we have 6 matches, and they are Real Madrid versus Real Sociedad at 3:15 p.m. Leganes versus Valladolid at 5:30 p.m. At the same time, it will be Espanyol versus Las Palmas. Then at 8 p.m. it is Getafe versus Celta Vigo. At the same time, it will be Rayo Vallecano versus Mallorca and Alaves versus Osasuna. Then on Sunday 25 May, it will be Girona versus Atletico Madrid at 1 p.m. Then Villarreal versus Sevilla at 3:15 p.m. Then the last match for match day 38 of 38 will be Athletic Club versus Barcelona at 8 p.m. So guys, we know in the Premier League, Liverpool won the league. We know in La Liga, Barca won the league. We know in League One, PSG won the league. And we know in the Bundesliga that Bayern Munich won the league. But in the Serie A, there's still a question mark there. And it is simply because Napoli, who is top on their league table, is just 1 point ahead of Inter Milan, who is the second on the league table. So this means that the last match will be the decider of who is going to win the 2024-2025 campaign in Serie A. Isn't that interesting? So we have to look out for these 2 teams and see who is going to be declared the winner of the season. Also, the 4th team to get a qualification into the Champions League isn't known yet. I mean, Juventus is already in that position, but what it means is that they have to win their last match to remain there. If they lose, AS Roma is standing by the door. Lazio is standing by the door. So what this means is that if Juventus loses and AS Roma wins, AS Roma will get the qualification. If both of them lose and Lazio wins, Lazio will get the qualification. So that is still stiff there. And also the relegated teams the teams to be relegated aren't even sure yet. It's just 1 team out of 3 teams that is sure of being relegated. So it means that Venezia, Empoli, Leeds, Parma have to win their last match not to be relegated. I mean, just take a look at the table, you would understand what I'm talking about. So Serie A, fixtures. On Friday 23rd May, we have the gang matches. I'm talking about the two teams fighting to win the league. At 7:45, we have Napoli versus Cagliari and Como versus Inter Milan. Then on Saturday 24th May, we have Bologna versus Genoa at 5 p.m. and at 7:45 p.m. it will be Milan versus Monza. Then on Sunday 25 May, we have all the remaining matches at 7:45 p.m. and they are Venezia versus Juventus, Lazio versus Lecce, Udinese versus Fiorentina, Torino versus Roma, Atalanta versus Parma, and Empoli versus Girona. So guys, it will be unfair for me to bring this episode to a close without talking about the two amazing midfielders who have just announced their exit from their respective clubs. I'm talking about Kevin De Bruyne and Luka Modric. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne played for 10 seasons in Manchester City and helped them win 19 major trophies, while Luka Modric played for 13 seasons in Real Madrid and helped them win 28 major trophies. I mean, Luka Modric is the most decorated player in Real Madrid. Wow, two amazing midfielders. I mean, it is a bittersweet experience for their respective clubs, and also we the fans. I mean, looking at Modric's video brought me to tears. What an amazing midfielder! Looking at Kevin De Bruyne's run in Man City, you can't just help but respect these two amazing footballers. So I want to say well done to them and congratulations to them for their milestones, and also I wish them well in their future endeavors. So guys, we have come to the end of this episode. You know how we do it. Do not forget to follow us on TikTok, subscribe to our YouTube channel, comment, like, and share. See you in the next episode.